Hey VC, this is Joe with a contest response to Chad Everett's contest about mixing of an album, or an album that you think is poorly recorded, something along those lines. Hopefully I've gotten this entry in under the wire here. I had to think about this one for a while, but the one that comes to mind for me the most would be John Lennon's Walls and Bridges album. It was recorded in the mid-70s. I guess it was his last album, maybe, before he retired for 5 years, which is sad in itself. Anyway, that album I think was really overproduced and has a real sort of 70s sound, which, I don't know, just the sound on it really rubs me the wrong way. I mean, it's still a great album because there's some really great songs in it, some really great songs. But the production, I don't want to say ruins it, but anyway, this is the Menlove Avenue album that was released, I forget when, in the early to mid 80s, after his death obviously. But what this is this takes some of the tracks from Walls and Bridges, as well as some of the tracks when he recorded the rock and roll album with Phil Spector, and mostly it sort of strips them down to just John and maybe a piano and I guess guitar. Honestly, it's been a while since I've listened to this, but I need to listen to this again. But this sort of corrects a lot of the problem with Walls and Bridges, in my opinion. But I would love to hear like just a sort of bare version of Walls and Bridges, where it's the whole album minus the production, and it sounds so much better on Menlove Avenue. So that would be my my entry into that. Other things that come to mind maybe are of course, some people would say Let It Be by the Beatles with Phil Spector's production, but you know, I don't really have a problem with the production on that album. Obviously there are a lot of albums that sort of sound overproduced. I want to say maybe particularly in the 80s there's just a tendency to, I don't know, make everything sound like it was recorded in $1 million studio or something, and that's why I really like the sort of push back against that. With the early 90s, there was a lot of lo-fi sounding stuff where people would just record in their garage or in their basement studio or whatever, and I much prefer the sort of bare urgency of a real communication to, you know, there being no song there, no real tune there, just a lot of production and nothing else, which is what I think of when I think of commercial radio for the most part. Another example for me maybe would be, I love the Stooges. Funhouse is one of my favorite records of all time, but the Stooges' first album just sounds so... Now this is ironic because this album sounds too bare to me. I would much rather have their first record been just a live recording at some concert that was well recorded by Elektra, you know, than... And I love John Cale, who produced that album. So anyway, I try to keep it fairly brief, but those are my 2 cents on this question. And congratulations on your subs, and you have a great channel, and I love looking at the diversity of the music that you post, play, show, and look forward to seeing more videos from you, Chad. Take care. Bye.